So the Labour Party civil war continues, very interestingly, as Tom Watson, the deputy leader of the Labour Party, basically has come out and said, look, what we are fighting is the very future of the Labour Party. Now, Tom Watson is a Blairite, essentially, and characteristically, many people think that, Blairites are centre-right. They are not. They are centre-left. So if you think that's the centre, that's where essentially a Blairite is, sort of very close, but not on the centrist line, but there, essentially. And now you have Momentum, who are a left-wing organisation that were established shortly after Corbyn was elected. And you could think of this as the momentum of influx that the party received as a change to their, voting rules. Ed Miliband changed the rules so that all you had to do was pay £3.50 and you could now vote in the Labour leadership election, which I think was a great step forward for the party. Now, interesting enough, this weekend a tape has been obtained by The Observer of Momentum talking about basically taking over the Labour Party. Now, this isn't really should be anything different. This really should have been expected. Now, a lot of people are comparing it to Justice Democrats, which is sort of the left-wing movement to try and oust the corporate Democrats. So, movement-wise, they are quite similar. However, this weekend, what has essentially happened was that Momentum basically said, hey, look, we can unite with Unite, the Labour Union, and essentially take over the party, because Unite are having elections for their leader soon, and the Momentum's leader basically said, look, if their guy stays in, we'll unite together, and at the Labour Party conference this year, we'll elect key, left-wing figures who can essentially, get into the party and fill the gaps. Now, this is sort of interesting, but we'll have to see what happens, whether this will actually be achieved or not. But what will be interesting to see is what Corbyn has to say. Now, this news is, as I'm saying, it is very fresh, and this is Monday morning when I'm talking about it. So we'll have to see what changes between now and Friday, I think, when this video goes out. As they say, a week is a long time in politics. So it'll be interesting to see Jeremy Corbyn's reaction, whether he backs them, whether he doesn't. Because him backing them might mean that this stops a lot of what Momentum and Unite could potentially want to do. Because at the moment, if you want to have someone stand within the party or leadership or something like that, then you have to have the backing of at least 50% of the MPs or MEPs. However, Momentum want to change that. I agree with them on that. I think that it should just be completely open. Have at it, vote in the people who do what you want, who do a good job. And they have, as Momentum rightly point out, there is a mass lot of membership at the moment within the Labour Party to potentially be able to do this. And as I said, the Labour Party conference, which will be halfway through this year, I want to say towards the summer, August, maybe. I think it is. I think that's when it is. I can't remember now, but it will be very, very interesting to watch. Needless to say, I think I might actually purchase a live stream ticket, or I might just say, I'll go myself. And that will be interesting, I think, to watch. So, what does this mean, really? Well, essentially, it's the typical battle of what has been going on in the Labour civil war for a while now, of Corbyn versus the Blairites. And now you have the Blairites, Corbyn, and Momentum. But what was very interesting in the tapes that were obtained was the fact that, hey, they thought Corbyn's not going to last much longer. They know that he isn't a good leader for the party, which, to be honest, good on them for being able to recognise that. I've been saying that for a while now. I've been saying it since he first got elected, and I've done subsequent videos basically saying what a bad leader of the Labour Party he actually is. So they even know this, and their objective is to get left-wing people into key positions within the Labour Party to ensure that the next leader is left-wing. Which, again, will be interesting because I generally don't know who could sort of be the successor to Corbyn, but whoever it is, they would need to unite the Labour Party, because it's no good saying, okay, we'll get rid of Corbyn, we'll replace him with someone who's left-wing, if the same rifts that Corbyn made when he was elected still exist. Remember, this guy to begin with, was a complete outside chance, and got there through, as I said, the grassroots movement that put him there. You then had the leadership challenge that he had to fight off last year. He won that, but there is still division within the party, and I think, as I said in past videos, a lot of the Labour MPs who don't like him are basically not going to work on his front bench. They'll still be members of the Labour Party, but they will just sit back and let him hang himself with his own rope. But as usual, we've got to wait and see what happens. The Labour front bench, because of this, is very weak, and it's not performing as well as it does, as well as it should do, and is, I think, a detriment to democracy. Now, we have the calls from outside the Labour Party for Corbyn to resign, and we will have to see what happens again during the Labour Party conference, whether this, Unite Momentum alliance gets made or not. If it does, it will be very interesting to see where the party goes from there on. Again, politics in the UK at the moment is getting more interesting than it ever has been recently, particularly with Brexit, and now you've got, again, the Labour Party civil war going on. So that's two things to really watch out for at the moment in UK politics.